Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 with our realistic series. And we'll run you back down to the field. As soon as I've gotten down to the field, I will pull up alongside the potato harvester and we'll unload that one first, and then I will go next to the... Oops, steady. Then I'll go next... You know what? I'm not going to be able to swing around that corner without taking up that lamppost, so I'm just going to... I should have gone out down the bottom end there. That would have been better for us. I didn't have anyone say they wanted cows on this map. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do in the way of livestock. I have already said that. I think pigs would be good because of the different options that we've got for pigs, but we'll kind of see. I did already do pigs, so I'm torn on that one. We'll just kind of like play things by ear. We'll see how it goes. Some livestock would be good, but we do have the option to go and buy manure from someone else, so I'm not too concerned about that. The traffic around here is insane. It's not like insane busy or anything, it's just the drivers are insane. Like, seriously, some of these drivers have got a screw loose. I need to be able to get into this field. Actually, what we can do now is I've got enough room that I can turn around. You shouldn't really, if you're using a lorry like this, you shouldn't really be loading over the curtain. I see we haven't quite got enough room to turn around on that end of the field, so we'll probably have to go back down there and tidy things up at some point. So I can drop that one in there. And what I'm going to do is you need to keep going until the potato harvester, any combine harvester, anything like that, you have to get it below 80% or it won't start up again. So now that one will start up again and he'll go up to the end of the row. I mean, there's not a lot of extra potatoes he's going to get, but at least he's moving, so it's keeping the harvest running as we drive alongside him. And he will get to here. So I do think that I'm going to have to go and just do another run up and down this side and the other side in order to give them enough room to be able to turn around properly. And, I mean, if that's what we've got to do, that's what we've got to do. That's not a great hardship in the slightest. So you can go there. And then I'll bring this one down here like this. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be driving around in the field very much with that one. That's what we've got this tractor and trailer for, which have just been sat here running this whole time. Because fuel is really cheap, and we don't have to worry about things like that for some reason. Yeah? No, maybe not. Let's bring you up there, and that one can start. Right, so I need to wait for the harvester to get up to the other end of the field. Then I can get just a few more potatoes off of that one, and we can do another run back up to the farm. And this time, it should sort of speed things. Like, we should now have gotten a bit of a flow going along with this. Things should be happening quite nicely. I do really like this trailer. I don't want to be running alongside the harvester with the lorry too much. That's not something that we want to be doing. Now, if I bring this one in under here, there. I love the fact that it does that. Sometimes you get these augers that come out and they kind of like fold down before they start pulling back, and then you can hook over the side of a trailer and it causes all kinds of headaches. And I don't like that at all. This one doesn't seem to do anything like that, which is absolutely fan-schmastic in my opinion. Now, what are you going to do? Let's go over to you and have a look. Are you going to turn round neat and tidy, or are you going to cause us problems? I get the feeling that it might cause us problems. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this bit down here, so that we've got that bit cleaned up and it's at least out of the way. So if I get that there, I'll do a run there like that. Back up. And then I'll do another run. And up we go. And I do see that it seems to be leaving a little bit there. I'm not sure if it's leaving a bit there because it's not got enough room, or if the hired help just automatically leaves a little bit of a strip on the end of each row. It could be Either way, to be honest, you never can tell with hired help. But we've only got to just do a little short jaunt up here, and then I can dump this bit into the trailer. Actually, well, I'll just set the hired help going down across the field. We'll unload as we go. We'll tip what we can into the lorry. The lorry can then take off back up to the farm again, and we can unload into our store. What I'd like some feedback on is we've got that one event that can happen where we get mold damaged crops in the store, in our grain storage. Well, I think I specified grain storage, and whichever one I've got the largest quantity of, I immediately have to sell it for the lowest amount of money, for whatever the lowest price going is, to represent the loss that we have now incurred because of the crops going mouldy. What I want to know is, do you think that we should include root crops in that event? Because if we do, then pretty much any time we've got root crops in storage, those are the ones that are going to be affected. And that could end up being a bit of a nuisance. I mean, yes, it is a 1 in 18 chance that we get that thing in the first place. The other option, of course, is that we randomly assign the mold to a crop, rather than it specifically being the one that we have the most of. We randomly assign it to one of the crops that we've got in storage. So I don't know. That's one little tweak that I've been thinking of, and I've been worrying about that one a little bit. I'm not quite sure how we should balance that one out effectively. So give me your thoughts on the whole crops going mouldy in storage random event that may or may not come up, and we'll look into that one. Someone else has suggested that I should do a get an online random number generator for when I do it, and so that you can actually see I know you can hear the dice roll in the background, but I mean, you hear a dice. I could say any number at all. I don't know if it would make any difference to anybody, whether if I was to go and have a just get an online number generator and show the result, so that you can be absolutely certain that I'm not just saying a number that I think fits the narrative for that particular week, so that I can avoid the really, really bad events. I'm telling you that I won't do that, and you've seen previously that I'm quite happy to make life difficult for myself if that's what happens. But let me know. Is that something you feel that you want me to do, or are you really not bothered about it? I know that it could go either way, so I really don't know sometimes. Okay, you know what? I think that one's actually empty, so I'm probably going to have to do a hired help jaunt up across the end of the field from this side as well, because of the trees and everything. I think we do need to do another pass up and back on here, just to be able to make everything fit. That one can go there. Let's bring you out a little bit more, shall we? Yeah, like that. And that's pretty much full now. So I'll leave that one. He can go right there. I'm just going to shut that one off now, and then I can go to this one, and we'll run it up. Yeah, see, he's just about hitting the trees there. So I think once he comes back round, when we meet up with him again, we'll do something with that. She's fine. She's fine. I didn't touch her. It's fine. Didn't grab her. I didn't hit the corner of the lady. Hit the corner of the truck with the lady. I waited until she had walked across. I was respectful. Yes, I may have been seemed a little bit impatient, but we've got our potato harvest to do. We need to get these potatoes lifted and back into storage, and we've got a lot of potatoes to do. And we also know that it's going to cost us an absolute fortune to do this, so I've also got to keep that in mind. That potato harvester is not going to be cheap. We're leasing that one. Yeah, see, that doesn't sound, the sound of this one doesn't sound muffled. I liked some of the appearance on that other mod, but I didn't. It was too bouncy as well. Now, you can see from this one, he's not bouncing around like the other one did. That other one just seemed like the suspension on it was damaged, so it was excessively springy. I don't quite know what would cause it to do that, but it did get caused to do that, and yeah, so it was bad, and we didn't want that. Right, I'll bring you round here and slide on in there. Excellent. We have another round of potatoes delivered. Now, I've got this huge, great big lot of potatoes that we've got to do. We have got 2 lots of lime that we can go and spread on these fields here. This field does need another load of fertilizer. The seed drill that we had didn't apply. Did that apply? I think maybe it did apply one lot of fertilizer. I'm not quite sure. We need to get more fertilizer on there. We'll have to do that somehow, some way. We're going to need to plough this field up. This will be planted in the spring. So while this is going on, I was wondering what else I could go and do. There's trees. This is all trees up here. There's loads of trees. But there was, I think it's there. Trees all planted in neat, tidy lines, which I thought was quite cool. That bit. If I was to buy that for 113,000, we could cut down some trees. And the reason that I'm thinking about cutting down trees is because I've been told, like, that there's all kinds of things. There's quite a lot of different greenhouses and production things across this map. And most of the production things require pallets. And we have to make pallets. So we can either put them down, or we can go and buy the piece of land that has got the factory on it, or we buy the factory itself in order to make pallets. But one way or another, we have to make pallets, which means that we've also got to get a supply of timber. So there is those planted trees in the lines that I've already seen somewhere. We'd be able to use those to start producing some pallets for ourselves, which I think would be rather useful. So I'm thinking that we could make a start on doing some of that while this potato harvest is happening, once I've sort of gotten used to moving stuff round. So we're going to whiz on over here. He's now turning around. I'm going to bring the lorry back up. Actually, you know what? The lorry needs to be facing the other way round. I can come in empty with the lorry, and I can just sort of whiz around any way I like. You know, I'm just going to put this one straight underneath it. And let's bring you back that way, like that. And I'll tuck myself in underneath that one. But really, I suppose what we should do is, rather than parking up there, I should be a little bit further over. And now that he's got room to come out, he does actually come out and turn around cleanly. That's good. I really like that. I was a bit concerned that he wasn't going to do a clean, tidy turn. So he gets right to the end of the row, and everything is done properly. That's good. That's what we want. So I will run up alongside this one. We'll take off these potatoes here. I will need to do one more pass up and down that end of the field, and then we are good to go. Once I've done that, we're waiting for this one to do its work in the field. And I don't want to be just waiting here watching it. I don't want to, like, we're not just going to sit and watch this thing do its work for hours and hours and hours. I also have no intention of doing that myself. Because, quite frankly, that's going to be boring, and yeah, it's not really how I want to do this. Let's go to you. Turn off the hired help there a minute, and yeah, see, we just need a little bit more room here. So we'll go and do another job while this one is working, and we can sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I think. It's going to be the better way of doing this. And that will then also, like, we can do a little bit of forestry work, maybe. I am very aware that I've got this limited amount of money, and I do have other jobs that we've also got to do. So I'm not buying a forager just yet because there's the possibility that we may not be able to afford. I think the forager is actually going to cost us close to $500,000. So we might end up having to forage this field using a leased machine, which is going to cost us a lot of money. It's probably going to set us back close to 100,000 euros to do that whole job. But that's a lot less than buying the thing outright. Now, once we've done that job, we've got all that chaff in there and it turns to silage, we then stuff that as fast as we can into the biogas up there. We've got a long-term supply of digestate then, as much as we want, and we can go back and forth and get that whenever we need it. And then we've also got a lot of money coming in from the silage. Now, I don't know how often we'll do silage. You know, if it was kind of like a time-lapse type situation, then we do silage fairly frequently. But this isn't a time-lapse. This is different, so we kind of need to play this slightly differently. I'm thinking that perhaps we would do silage every couple of years, something like that. I don't know yet. I'll see how the first harvest goes, because there's some different silage machines that I would like to try out. I think some of them could actually be very, very cool. Now, all I have to do is get back down to the bottom end, and then we've got another neat and tidy side of the field, and then the hired help can just carry on and do its thing. And, well, we need to make sure that we can buy that one. I'm not sure. I don't think I've bought it yet. No, I can't have done, because I haven't got anything in the production area. We'll run up there, and we'll go and spend a little bit of money in just a moment. And now we have a nice, neat and tidy edge to our field. What we're going to want to try and do, as this job progresses, is keep a very close eye on the hired help situation up in the top corner, so that I can get to the harvester and unload the thing before it reaches 100%. Because every time it reaches 100%, we're losing, I would guess, around 750 litres of potatoes that don't officially go into the potato hopper on the machine. They just kind of basically vanish into thin air. So I'm going to set the hired help going in there. And she is going to do a wonderful job whizzing up and down the field. And while she does that, I'm going to go over here. Biomethane Station, East Biogas Plant, and I'm going to visit. So I've run all the way up here extra quickly. So biogas here. I have no idea how that works. We can jump up. I didn't mean to throw my... I won't do that. I was trying to stand on the wall like that, so that I could see the potato harvester away in the distance, over there, doing its thing in the field. Right, done that. Now, if I go over here and I have a look, I go there, buy production point. We don't have this yet. 240,000 euros, yes. Right, I need that. That is one thing that we absolutely have to have. Active production, silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet, cut. Everything is materials missing. Lots of stuff going in. We've got biomethane right there that we can extract. There'll be digestate down the bottom end. So now if we go into the production area, here we go. East Biogas Plant. So, sugar beet cut. Ooh, I can make... Wait, what? Oh! Sugar beet gives electricity and biomethane and digestate and biogas. Manure gives... I'm assuming that's one bottle there? Is that? I don't know what... Is it just a bottle? I don't know what that is. It says biogas here and digestate, spawn and spawn. But then we've also got these two, so that will be power coming from somewhere. Slurry, and then... Wow, look at the silage. Well, that's 840 silage. The manure is smaller quantities. It's 24 cycles a month. That's not very much, is it? And we can put in 100,000 litres of silage. So we just have silage going in, and then it produces all of this. So I don't know where the electricity goes. That's got to be electricity somewhere. Whether that's just a charging point, or you need electricity to power some of the other things, and this whole map has basically got a power grid built into it, and so you've got to have the power grid in order to have the... If it's got a power grid... and we have to have this in order to generate power to run things. Quite frankly, I think that is phenomenally awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. But there's the digestate tanks that we'll be wanting to use, and that's slurry, well, slurry going in there, and manure and stuff up the other end. Okay, we now own this one. We've got 300,000 euros left to our name. I mean, whatever's there, plus 20 grand. Because I got to go and add that in, but we need to keep... We were on 80, we're 90% on the potato harvester. You should be able to get to the end of the row. Right. Let's have this one. I'll pop that one out. I'll run round here. And I will tip that out. And then I got to keep a close eye on that potato harvester, because I'm going to need to chase after him in just a moment. And then we can unload that one as we go. So he's on 98, 99%. He's still turning. You know what? I'm just going to tuck that away, because that 99%, I don't want him to even start harvesting. I want to get that at least some of it unloaded off of him before he turns around completely, if I can. He should now come back through and line up, but if I can get him to stop over the top of me, fantastic. There. Right. I just want to take a little bit off of him. There we go. That's enough. Now I can let him start up again. He can carry on up across the field. I will go and unload this into the trailer, and then I can go back to the potato harvester, get that one. We're keeping everything moving. That's the difficulty with this, is you got to keep it all moving. Curious about trailers. I know that I'm doing a realistic thing here, like this is a realistic series, but I'm curious about one thing. Do you want me to continue to use a trailer like this and actually do this properly realistically? Or do you think that I should occasionally be using a trailer with a modified, unrealistic capacity to allow us to do things with fewer trips and things like that? I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of thinking that for this series it would be better if we didn't do that, but I'm open to suggestions. Like, I ask you these questions, I weigh up what people say. You know, different people have got different ideas about what they think is acceptable and what isn't, and I weigh the two up, and then I make my decision based on that, and also what I want to do personally. So I may not necessarily listen to what you say. Alright, just keep that in mind. Just because you've said that I should do it doesn't mean that I'm going to do it. I don't always listen to what people say. This may come as a bit of a shock to some of you. Others will not be shocked in the slightest. Others will be like, yeah, well, we already knew that, Fritz, so tell us something new. So let's just dump this lot in here, and we're pretty much ready to roll now with our next load. Run that all the way back. Oh, you know what? I think we've actually got quite a bit more space in there yet. Fold that one back up there. Just going to turn that tractor off a second, and then I'm going to run over here and have a look. What have you got? 81%. He can take another 10... Oops. He can hold another 10,000 litres of tatybos in there yet, which is going to be another run or two across the field. I am back doing a bit more recording. We are still doing our potato harvest, and not much will have changed since you last heard my voice, so I'm not going to go and recap anything. I'm just taking a look at the tree harvesters that we've got here, because there's some new ones that we got, and they've now got like a distance, a diameter on a tree that they can take. So we can see, you know, like that one there will take the really big trees, but that's 750,000 euros. I kind of don't have 750,000 euros available. That is a 71 centimeter. That one's 80. So, yeah, like, we've got some available here, but they do cost an absolute fortune. I can't afford one. We would have to lease one if we were going to go and do that. So we will, at some point, need to do some tree harvesting in order to be able to get pallets to be able to supply all of the other things, because a lot of the bits on the map do require pallets. So it is something that we're going to have to do, and I was talking about maybe going and starting doing a little bit of forestry now soon. In order to do that, we're going to need to, to make use of it. We would want to, I think it's buy this sawmill here, so that we can start using that to make some pallets. That means that we're going to have to do some more leasing of things, rather than trying to do it with buying them, because we don't have the money to go and buy everything. Also, I'm going to want a forager here next year so that we can do silage from this area. Another thing is, I was wondering about these trailers right here, and someone in the comment section said they went and had a look at the main website for the people that make these trailers, and they are this way round, and the picture that they showed was the tractor was facing the other way, so it looked like they weren't unloading the potatoes from the harvester as the machine traveled across the field. Instead, what they were doing was the harvester was stopping in the field, and then they were approaching from the front of the machine and unloading it like that. So whether that's a normal thing for potato harvesting, that it's done when the machine is stopped, because when it comes to sugar beets, you do it as it's being unloaded. I've seen loads of videos of sugar beet harvesters working in the fields. I've seen plenty of that going on, so I know that with sugar beet at least, it's done on, as it's sort of happening in the field. Other than that, I'm not really sure. So that one, don't know. We'll kind of wait and see. Now I'm going to drive this up to the farm, and we will unload this load, and then we will come back again and park this one up in the field, and then we can see about doing some other work, some forestry stuff, while we're sort of keeping the potato harvester running as well, because I want to be able to at least, have a bit of variety in what we're doing, and I'm pretty sure that most of you will as well. So I'm thinking that we could buy a timber trailer. I'll get an autoload one. I'm not going to mess around with trying to load logs with a crane or anything like that. I think it's just going to end up being too messy, and it's just going to cause problems, both for me and for anybody trying to watch the hopelessness of it all. I've been thinking about the one random event that I've got that tells me that I have to sell all of the crop that I've got if that one comes in. Like, if that one comes up, I then have to sell the crop that I've got that has the highest quantity stored for the lowest current available price on the map. And if that one comes up, the potatoes are gone, basically. We have to get rid of the potatoes, and I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.